Hey man, welcome back to another edition of Everything Football 62. I'm your host, Jonathan Big Tex Johnson, aka Uncle Tech, aka Professor Tech. Before we get started, smash that like button, share with a friend, share the video and whatnot and stuff like that. Got any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. I'm gonna jump right into this real quick because I'm doing some chilling right about now. I want to get on back to my chilling and whatnot, but I had to bring this up and whatnot, and I saw this particular article. There on Twitter and whatnot. It's a cat by the name of Sam Block. I think he messes with ESPN, but he brought up an interesting point. And I was just talking about this to a coworker the other day, last week, as a matter of fact. I was talking to him about that because there was a time in the NFL, and you go back and go do your research and whatnot. There was a time in the NFL where rookie quarterbacks, they sat. They sat for a couple of years, sometimes 3-4 years. They sat because it's like, it's this whole thing. It's like some guys, look, you can catch lightning in a bottle sometime. It happens. You can catch a Peyton Manning or later on a Dan Marino or a John Elway. You can catch cats like that. Okay? And whatnot. C.J. Stroud and whatnot. J.D. Daniels, which I keep telling people, it's just like, looks good, sounds good, hell of a play. Love to see this guy play. Loved him at LSU and whatnot and stuff like that, winning the Heisman and whatnot and everything. But the thing about him, he is a little bit frail as a quarterback, and injury, I feel, don't wish that on him. Don't wish that on him and whatnot as a football fan. But I'm like, injuries and something that probably could come up on this kid and whatnot because everybody's going crazy about him. I'm like, did the same thing with RG3. Okay? I remember seeing RG3 at here in Northern Virginia, Leesburg, Virginia, right? And you can ask him this. Not that I went up and met him and talked to him or anything like that. He was with his wife at the time, different wife now, his wife at the time, and he was at LA Fitness. And I started to go up to him, and I ain't say nothing. I said, nah, really, because he was still working on his contract and all that. So I didn't mess with the cat and anything like that. But this is the same type of vibe. Same type of vibe. Then my man got hurt, and then we all know the rest is history. But this whole thing with Anthony Richardson, right, is crazy because my man over here, his name is Sam Block. Think he might fucks with ESPN or whatever like that. He put this up. Anthony Richardson is 22, bench. Bryce Young is 23, bench. Trey Lance is 24, bench. Justin Fields is 25, bench. Will Levis, 25 bench. Zach Wilson, 25 bench. Mac Jones, 25 bench. Kenny Pickett, 25 bench. And he said, and I quote, the NFL has a quarterback development problem. And he's 100% correct. Some of these guys need to sit, man. That's where you have a veteran up there and whatnot. Some of these guys are going to say, people do realize that Patrick Mahomes played one game, the last game, which is a meaningful game because they got the playoffs behind Alex Smith. But Andy Reid knew that this guy was going to be his quarterback. So he sat him. Okay? A lot of times, dude, you can't come in like that. All quarterbacks are not created equal. Sorry. Anthony Richardson. Man, let's do this, man. We're not going to go here. We're going to go to his college stats. Played at Florida, University of Florida. This guy had a 54.7 completion ratio. Right? Completion ratio. His best year, which probably is his junior year, I suppose, threw for 2,549 yards, 17 touchdowns, 9 picks. Decent stats. This guy is not all nothing, not all ACC, Doak Walker, or whatever whatever. Any type of resume. He doesn't really have a resume. But he comes in, he wows them 6'4", 235, 240 pounds, and wows them at the combine. What is the point? You know what I'm saying? What is the point? I was like, okay, I saw him play a couple of times that year, 2022. And I'm like, okay, But what is he, a sophomore or something like that? I didn't really know all the ins and outs of him. This guy only started, he played 12 games. Literally played 24 games. And he wowed them at the combine. How do you wow someone at the combine with no resume? I don't understand that. But then I started looking and I'm just like, okay, so last year as a pro, right? He started 6 games, 958 yards, 4 touchdowns, 7 inches. And he was the talk of the town before he got hurt. Talk of the town. Oh, if he didn't get hurt, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. They had other problems as well, but he was the talk of the town because he has an arm. He's athletic. He's freakish, and all of the attributes that y'all apply to him. But is he NFL ready? Come in and make a couple of throws, okay. Then he did if I'm not mistaken, he did a interview. I think I want to say it was with Pickett, where he said, and I quote, well, that the college was harder than that of the NFL. Now, he might have had some other context to it or whatever like that, but when you hear that, you'd be like, oh, okay, or whatever. Now we're seeing what's happening when shit is not all that right. Why would this guy go in the first round? His resume is literally nothing. His resume is 3rd, 4th, 5th round at best. His resume, your resume is supposed to account for something. That's like going for a job interview. You've never had a job, but I guess they don't look at your resume. They sit up there and say, if he can wow me in the interview process, I'll go ahead on and pay him this money and we're going to do all this other kind of shit. But he's not the only one. Let's go back to Sam Block's page. Anthony Richardson, 22 bench. Bryce Young has a resume. Bryce Young doesn't. Look, when you're taking as high as these guys are taking, there is no way. I don't give a shit what. They don't need to play. If you see, okay, I've seen enough. He's not ready. Not ready. They have no parts in Carolina. They have nothing. That franchise right now is in shambles, and it's been in shambles for a long time. Go back. They haven't been to the playoffs since Cam Newton left. Go back and put that in perspective. We're talking like 2017, which would have been Christian McCaffrey's rookie year. They were making that right now. Bryce Young, his quarterback he's supposed to be looking up to is a 33 or 34-year-old Cam Newton right now. Right now. But no. Got rid of Cam. Christian's going to be the goddamn guy today. And what did he do? He got a couple of years over there where he did this, that, and the third and stuff like that. But what did he, thousand, back in 2019, only to sit up there and miss 2 fucking years worth of fucking football. And they got rid of Cam and they bring Cam back in. Cam's going to sit up and play football because a football player plays football. Now, that is supposed to be his mentor right now. That is supposed to be his mentor right now. Cam Newton, a 3-time Pro Bowler, 1-time first-team All-Pro, winning record as a career record, NFC Championship winner, went to the Super Bowl, Offensive Player of the Year, the whole kit and caboodle. That is supposed to be his mentor right now. Used to be like that back in the day. It's not like that no more. Go to Trey Lance. Let's go to Trey Lance. Trey Lance. And there's, I guess, freshman, sophomore, junior year. Go 16-0, North Dakota State, which is like the Alabama of the Division I. 2,786 yards, 28 touchdowns. They say threw no picks. 16-0. COVID 2020 played one game. They're comparing him to Mahomes. Guess because they look like light-skinned brothers. I don't know. But see, that's what I'm saying. When you get him, and all of a sudden, by 2022, he's not. You take him in the first round in 2021. Two and 2 record. And then they replace him with Brock Purdy. He gets hurt. They replace him with Brock Purdy, and the rest is history. What with his credentials? 1 year within his credentials, 1 year in his resume. This young man, right? Him. You're going to say he's going to take over my franchise and whatnot, and I'm going to take him in. Let me see. When did he go? He went in the first round pick. He was a first round pick. He's a backup in Dallas. Got ran out. Now he got his money. Get your money. Do what you got to go do because the game don't love you. The league doesn't love you. He got all that. Now he's just a backup. And you're talking about somebody who is, what is this guy? He's 24 years old, man. Where's his resume? I don't care about what Carson Wentz did. Carson Wentz didn't do shit either. You see, we're coming up with a pattern here. And I'll go back to that a little bit later. Let's go back to block. Justin Fields, his resume spoke for itself. Justin Fields over in Chicago. There's nothing in Chicago but some fucking cold weather. Nothing in Chicago. And memories of the 85 Bears. There's nothing in Chicago. Didn't support him with anything around him. And all of a sudden, you're getting rid of him a couple of years later. You had Mitch Trubisky in 2017. Within a couple of years, within a year or two, he's gone. I don't even know why Trubisky even came into the fucking goddamn picture in the first place. You bring in Fields. The kid has talent. The kid has arm talent. The kid has running talent. He has a put some pieces around the young man. Now you got Caleb Williams there in 2024 draft after you got this guy in 2022 or whatever the fuck it was. But he has a resume, so I get it. Will Levis. Go to Will Levis. His last 2 years in Kentucky, he was a red shirt. Went to Penn State. 2018, red shirted. 2019, 1-0, 0-1. 2021 goes 10-3, 2,826 yards, 24 touchdowns, 13 picks. 2022, 7-4, 2,406 yards, 10 picks. Somewhat regressed. Now, they expected him because they invited him to New York because of this fucking combine. Guys not know he ended up going in the second round or whatever the fuck it was. 33rd overall pick. No. Third or fourth round. Late second round, early third round pick. At best. Where's his resume in college? Do resumes in college mean anything nowadays? Or do you just show up with a fucking combine and zip and zing the ball around and do some fucking drills without no pads, without no motherfucker in your fucking face? Travesty. Let's continue. Zach Wilson. I said this. It was a guy on ESPN. They're telling us Zach Wilson made this throw or whatever and dude like he nutted in his fucking pants. Oh my God, Zach Wilson. We see all what happened right there. He should still be at the Jets under that of Aaron Rodgers. He was not ready to take on. He's not that type of quarterback. He had a nice senior year. This guy, where's the college credentials? Where he made Polynesian Football Player of the Year. It's like a white guy to me, but at the same time, somebody around the way might have been the brothers, the Polynesian brother might have jumped in somewhere down the gene pool and whatnot. That's his fucking college resume. That's it. He didn't do a Steve Young. He didn't do a Mark Wilson. had resumes. He has no fucking resume, but because what he did in the combine, y'all gonna sit up there and say, this motherfucker is worth. Where did he go? Second overall. Second overall. This motherfucker's a backup to Bo Nix. And they probably was in college at the same fucking time. Let's continue. Mac Jones, wanted to know his resume. Didn't last long over there in New England and stuff like that or whatever like that. Didn't get it on with Bill Belichick. He had 1 year. They went Tennessee after Cam was there and stuff like that or whatever. Wasn't the guy. Kenny Pickett. A lot of talk last in 2023 season. Oh, him and Johnson, they're going to do this. They're going to do it because he's finished with a strong 22 season. His rookie year finished up pretty good. Where the fuck is he at? Where is he at? He's playing somewhere. Let's look up where he's playing at. Because I don't even fucking remember no more now. Let's see. Kenny Pickett. He's in Philly. He's behind my man, Jalen Hurts. Let's go check out these stats. He finished 7-5. Looked promising coming back. Then he goes 7-5 again, 2,070 yards, 6 touchdowns. He ended up getting hurt. He broke a lot of Marino's records. He did this, all ACC, player of the year, blah, 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 blah. All of that stuff. Played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Won a lot of awards, All-American, and he did a lot of different things. Has a resume. He wasn't ready. He got hurt. They lost patience with him. 2021, 4,319 yards. Led the nation with 42 touchdowns and only 7 picks. Let me see here. 11-3. I think they won the ACC, if I'm not mistaken. Has a resume, but wasn't ready. Again, I will say, Pat Mahomes did not start his first year. He didn't come in. Go back and look at John Elway. You go back and look at the half a year that, go back to Dan Marino. I think he came in like halfway. It's like some guys are just not built that way, dude. Not every quarterback is like that. These guys trying to microwave. It was a time in the NFL. Go back to Roger Staubach because of the draft and all that other shit like that, Vietnam and all that kind of shit. I think he was in the Navy and all this other kind of shit. He didn't become a starting quarterback until he was 26 years old. It took Terry Bradshaw 6 to 7 years to get his shit together. It's a ton of quarterbacks that play. Not everybody's going to be Peyton Manning. Sorry. It's not going to happen that way. Let some of these fucking guys sit, man. You got, what's my man, went to Washington. He's buying Kirk Cousins. Mixon or whatever his damn name, Picks. Whatever his damn name, I look his name up. This young man, this young man here and whatnot, he hasn't even touched the field. He's learning behind a very good quarterback. As much shit as I talk about what's his name? Cousins, as much shit as I talk about Cousins and whatnot, this guy can learn from him because he is their future. Now, it's ironic enough that, and I've said this countless amount of time, he started all this shit. Cousins started the Skins. They started all this shit. We're throwing money at the position and getting them $40,000 got to $40 million a fucking year of what's it called millions dollars a year, $40 million a year of franchise tag. So I'm gonna throw money at the position, and so now they're throwing money at the position off the radar, not off the radar, but like on there. All of these guys are getting benched. Where's the development? And my man says in a great quote by Block, the NFL has a quarterback development problem. Your quarterback's set, man. Why do you think you got to come in and do this shit now? Everybody in their first or second year is not going to be that guy. Not everybody, not all quarterbacks are not equal. It depends on what type of system you're in, who you have around. Now, C.J. Stroud with a resume, and he came in, look what he did. Oh, what he's doing last year is what he's doing now. Hell of a coach. He has weapons. What weapons does a Bryce Young have? What weapons? Kenny Pickett had weapons. Maybe he can't. I don't know. But what ends up happening with these guys is that you're expecting them to take you to the fucking Super Bowl in their first 2 years, and if they don't, you get rid of them. And it was a time when you sit up there and develop them because you put that much money in them. How is it that Trey Lance, who goes in the first fucking round in the 2022 draft, I believe, 2021, one of them drafts, he goes in. How is he getting uprooted by some motherfucker that played at Iowa State? When the last time I was saying a fucking quarterback to come in the goddamn pros and light it up? There are issues in this and needs to be fixed. And these are these general managers, these fucking owners, and these goddamn scouts' fault. Get it back to let these guys sit. Now, like I say, hey, man, get your bread. Get your bread, man. Get your bread. I don't give a shit. I'll get your bread because the NFL don't love you. Get your bread. But like I say, you're making these guys the scapegoats of all of this shit. And they barely fucking played in college. Some have a resume. You still need to set them. Set them for at least a year. All court, just like it used to be back in the day, back in the 60s and 50s and 40s, like freshmen didn't play. You had to come in as a sophomore, learn what's going on. But you're going to have guys that are going to buck the system, and I don't mean in a bad way. They're just that fucking good, and they can represent like that. Some of these guys are not going to do that. They're not going to do that. So where do we go to get off of this and make it? It's like his fault. Now, going back to Richardson, he was on, I think, the Pivot podcast, one of the podcasts, where he made a statement. Oh, it's harder in college than it is pro. Well, here you go. Keep your fucking mouth shut, learn that goddamn playbook. You tapping out after scrambling. You're tapping out after scrambling, bro. You can't do that in that fucking league. This is not college and this is not high school. You're 6'4", 240 fucking pounds and got a fucking goddamn howitzer for a fucking arm. And you're tapping out. And the irony of a lot of this shit is the fact that with Richardson, right? With Richardson is that he played 6 games last year and he played 10 games this year. And this motherfucker's man. Look at this shit, man. This motherfucker here, at this point, right, is, let me see what his record is, man. Let me see. He's 3-3. He was 2-2 last year. They said, oh, he's regressed. He didn't learn anything. He only played 4 fucking games last year. 4. This motherfucker has a ton of goddamn work that he has to do. Did he show some flashes? Yes, he did. Only 4 games he was hurt. Comes in, he plays 6 games this year. He goes 3-3. He's at 500. They're at 4-3, if I'm not mistaken. And you bench him for Flacco, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that because he needs a set. He needs a set because the only reason why you drafted him for because of what he did in the combine in his senior year in college. He needs to sit and learn what's up. He has no fucking resume. This is not Warfield or fucking Shane Matthews coming out of motherfucking college, man. He didn't do what them fucking guys did. Them guys had crazy resumes and they didn't really pan out in the pros, but they had decent careers or whatever like that. And you can understand how come. But at the same time, he didn't do that. He didn't do a Tebow. He didn't do any of that. And these guys, and Richardson has the whole fucking package. And you wonder why he's struggling. He only played 4 fucking games his fucking rookie year, which he should have been sitting any fucking way. If you draft him in the first fucking round, then what you need to do is let him sit behind Flacco. Flacco was a good quarterback. Average good quarterback is like he didn't make no mistakes. He did what he did, and he won a lot of fucking games. Let that man learn behind him. He's not going to be your answer, obviously. Flacco's not going to play until he's fucking 50. But Michael Pitts over there at fucking Atlanta is learning behind that of a very good quarterback, Kirk Cousins. He will benefit from that. Because I didn't realize, I didn't know. Never really paid that much of attention. I knew about Pitts. Knew about my man from Texas, the running back. Didn't realize that they have explosive talent on them wide out positions. But my man has always been surrounded by that. And he still can't win. But at the same time, it's like, nah, he don't need to go in there. He don't need to go in there. There's no reason for that. This is what I'm talking about. These guys are 22, 23 years old coming out. 21. Playing one fucking year. This is not the fucking NBA, homie. Where if you got a jump shot, you're okay, I can sink that jump shot. I can play until I get my shit together. No, man. It's grown men out there trying to knock your fucking block off. The goddamn fucking, the playbook is the size of a goddamn yellow page phone book. Take that time, learn that, making that $5, $10, $15 million a fucking year. You ain't gonna never see no motherfucking money like that after you leave that game. And that's why I go back to my man Block. The NFL has a development problem. And that's the fucking problem right there. And I've been talking about this for years. And look at all these guys pitch, and they just got drafted. They just got drafted. Now they're bums. Now they're letting Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and whatever other silly fucking goddamn online shit that they talk about and talking about these guys. Like they're horrible. I'm not saying all those guys are going to be this, that, and the third. What I am saying is that give them the tools. Give them time. Why are you expecting them? Everybody's not going to be Mahomes. Everybody's not going to be Peyton Manning. Everybody, dude, how long did Aaron Rodgers say? Fuck it. I ain't got nothing to do. Just do this here. Aaron Rodgers sitting behind one of the all-time greats. He came out in 2005. '24th overall pick in 05. With a minimum of 10 games. At age 25, He set 1, not 2, not 3. He set 3 fucking years before he was able to come in there. And then after, when it hit age 26, 11-5, 10-5, 14-1, 11-5, 6-3, 12-4, 10-6, 10-6, 4-3, hurt, bad season, 13-3, 13-3, 13-3. Dude, what the fuck are we talking about, man? Aaron Rodgers can throw any fucking ball. Fuck the Jet shit. His legacy is already cemented in Canton. Aaron Rodgers, one of the baddest motherfuckers. Like I said, I ain't no Green Bay. I said, I'm a football guy first and foremost. Aaron Rodgers could make any fucking throw. Any throw you want. Best Hail Mary thrower ever. See how long that man sat? Even Lamar Jackson, going at 32, had to sit damn near a whole fucking year. The fuck are we talking about, man? That's these owners. And then the shit that happened with Trey Lance, whoever was over that, and you talk about nepotism and fucking talking shit about LeBron James and his son Bronny? You got your fucking kid up there doing some shit, and this motherfucker don't even know what the fuck he's doing? Oh yeah, the guy looks good. I remember years ago, I was reading some article, and I remember a guy, and they were talking about drafting. A guy got drafted in the first or second round because, and they never really seen the guy play, but because of a picture of him throwing a fucking football is why they drafted him. I might look later on and bring it up to y'all. He got drafted because of the way he threw the football in a picture. Let these guys sit down, man. Stop this madness. Kevin Garnett brought up an interesting thing. He said it was a point in time in the NBA where he said it was old heads in there. Now you look around, there's a bunch of young dudes up in there. No leadership. No old head to tell them how to deal with shit professionally, personally, and any of that shit, how you deal with shit, dealing with the league and all this other shit that you got to deal with. How does this happen? Now, Anthony Richardson could be a great quarterback. I think he has the tools. But he needs to be schooled. And he's not going to be schooled. I say, look, again, his resume in college is mediocre. That's 4th round shit at best. Trey Lance, North Dakota State, mediocre at best. Zach Wilson, he played at fucking BYU. BYU, yeah, here and there or whatever. But I'm like, dude, you're not that kind of guy. You're not him. But this guy has a nut about him at the fucking combine throwing the fucking ball when there's no pressure. He's just throwing the fucking football. You can't judge him by that. So what the fuck is going on? It's not these guys' fault. That's these GMs and these fucking managers and these bitch ass scouts. And then you shit on them by bitching them. That helps their fucking confidence. Not all quarterbacks are created equal. Everybody's not going to be a Marino and Elway and shit like that. Even Elway's first year, I think when he started at 10 games or whatever, it was horrible. He got it together. Through halfway through Marino's rookie year, he came in. He actually made the Pro Bowl. Everybody's not that guy, man. These guys need it. But a lot of these guys played 3 years to 4 years in college. Dan Marino played freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year. So did Elway. These guys played a lot of football in college and developed a resume. Some of these guys coming out and developed no fucking resume. At least give me 2 years. You can't just give me a fucking year and I'm taking you first round and I'm giving you $20, $30 million a fucking year. And then I expect you to fucking win a goddamn Super Bowl at age 23. Jaden Daniels is surrounded by a lot of talent. I've said, I'm in the Northern Virginia area. I've been up here for years. And even when they had, Heineke or whatever like that, them guys had a fucking mean defense. McLaughlin as their fucking receiver. They got some nice pieces. They never had a quarterback. Why you think McLaughlin is sitting up there goddamn grinning and laughing and shit like that? He's having fun playing football because he didn't have a consistent quarterback. Now he has one. Now, like I said, he's a rookie. Ain't no rookie ever won no Super Bowl. Ain't no rookie won no MVP and all that. And we can play that goddamn RG3 shit. Because when RG3 was here, trust me, the old boy doing his thing and whatnot. But I'm like almost on the same level. Same level. Let's go and look it up. Same level. RG3. Let's see what this cat's name. RG3. And his rookie year was out of fucking bounds. They won the NFC East. 9-6. 3,200 yards, 20 touchdowns, 5 picks. Go down to the rushing. 815 yards. Now, my man is kind of getting up there and shit like that, but we'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. The point of it is that stop rushing these quarterbacks and stop sitting up there going off of a fucking goddamn combine in January and February. Let these guys develop and try to be quarterback if you're going to take them in the first round. And have a fucking resume. RG3, another one with a resume. Now, Daniels has a resume. Has a resume. Has a resume. Go back to his college days and shit like that. This man played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years in college. A lot of that shit due to COVID. Arizona State for 3 years, and the last 2 years dealing with that of LSU. That's 2 hell of a years. What else we got to say about that? So, let these guys sit, man. Stop drafting these guys based upon, in the first round, based upon that. Mr. Trubisky. There's tons of guys. I know Josh Josh, whatever his fucking name is, from UCLA. Cut it out, man. You're putting this shit on these guys, and it's not fair to them, and it's not fair to the fans. Okay? Like I tell you guys all the time, there's no greatest of all time, long time still going on. And I can tell you guys all the time, numbers don't lie, get emotional. People do. You guys have a good one. Might be back.